up, internet? My name is Nikki and today I'll be doing a book versus movie review on The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. So before I go into my little review with the book versus movie, basically what the story is about follows our main character Rachel, who is a alcoholic divorcee who likes riding the train during the workdays into the city and back home. She also likes to fantasize about the people who live next to the train track, especially a certain couple. One day one of the people she has been fascinated by ends up disappearing without a trace, and the story just starts off from there of what happened to this person and how Rachel is involved with the disappearance of this person as well. Starting off with the book is I had an issue with Rachel, and that is because she's an alcoholic. I don't know why, but it just really irks me when there's an alcoholic involved in from a TV, book, or anything like that, just because of how they act and just because they keep trying to say that they're gonna stop, but really they don't. They just keep going with the addiction. I think anything that involves with addiction, you tend to get really annoyed with that character just because you're like, just stop, you know, you should stop kind of thing. And I think Paula Hawkins did a really good job with that, of making you not like her and also have sympathy for her at times throughout the book. I went through a roller coaster with Rachel because at times I didn't like her just due to her drinking problem, and then sometimes I'm like, oh hun, I wish I could hug you kind of scenario. And I think, like I said, Paula Hawkins did a really good job of doing that, and if it was intentional, bravo for her. Also, another thing is I kind of felt like this book was kind of like a slow burn kind of read for me, and the reason I say that is due to the part there's a lot of flashbacks in this book, and sometimes you get to a chapter that's really good from a certain person's point of view and you kind of want to know more, but the chapter ends and you get to see someone else's point of view or someone else's flashback, and it's like, come on, I want to read what else she has to say about what's happening on the day. But it's kind of like a give or take. That's kind of like how I see it. It was every other chapter is different because it's someone else's point of views or someone else's flashback. It just felt really slow for me because you will be in a chapter and it will get you hooked because it has something to do with the missing person and you kind of want to know a little bit more, but the chapter ends and then you get into another chapter that has like a different date or it's a different flashback or something, and you're like, oh, I just want to know what's happening. And sometimes I have to put the book down and just like go like, okay, it's gonna take some time to figure this out. But overall, this whole book was really good. It kind of actually gets your attention. You want to know more, what's happening, what happened to this missing person, what does Rachel actually know, and just like what is Rachel's life, like what led up to her being an alcoholic divorcee. Overall, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads because it was really good. Like I said, it kind of captures your attention because you want to know what's happening. If you want a psychological thriller, I suggest picking this up if you haven't already. It's really good. And also the fact of how it's compared to Gone Girl, I kind of see it just because of the genres they are both in, but it's no comparison whatsoever because Gone Girl, it's one of those books that basically messes you up, while this one kind of gets you like, you kind of feel like a detective and you kind of want to know what's happening sort of feel, I guess. I hope I'm explaining that right. So moving on to the movie, I was pleasantly surprised about this movie. It stars Emily Blunt, Haley Bennett, which I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw her on screen, my first thought was Jennifer Lawrence, but then she started talking. I'm like, nope, you're the other chick. You're Haley Bennett. It also stars Rebecca Ferguson, and it was really interesting because I'm a really big fan of Emily Blunt because she did The Devil Wears Prada. She also did Into the Woods, which is a musical with Meryl Streep, and I don't know, I just really like it. Emily Blunt. Going into the movie a little bit more, like I said, I was kind of surprised because it was really good. I think it really flowed really well, like how the book did. It did the flashbacks great. I told the story how I saw it kind of in my head. I personally thought it was really good. Some things that kind of threw me off is because the setting of the book is basically around London. So when I saw New York, I was kind of confused because I'm like, am I watching the right movie? And I was. They just changed the setting of it, but it still kept it of how Rachel will go throughout her day. Also, Emily Blunt keeps her, I guess, British accent through the movie to keep it kind of close to Paula Hawkins' story, which I don't know how that will work, but that's kind of how it seemed to me, that just because she wasn't using an American accent, she was more of her, I guess, natural accent. I'm not quite sure. I've never actually heard Emily Blunt actually speak normally. So overall, which did I think is better? I personally think they are both equally good as they are. If you either read the book or you watch the movie, I think it explains both of them really well. I feel like for the movie, you kind of get a distinct straight flow of how the story goes, while in the book you have more of a behind the scenes of what's happening sort of thing. So you have like what you're watching, and then you have something that if you want to go a little bit more into depth with, you could read the book. But overall, I think either which one stays true to what it is. The movie is good in its own right, and so is the book. I can't choose because they're both good, so it's a tie between the book and the movie. Like I said, they both flow really well. It kind of keeps you in your seat because you're like, probably this person did it, probably that person did it, but overall you were hooked. So if you've seen this movie, tell me what you thought. If you read the book, also tell me what you thought. If you saw both of them, did you also believe that it's a tie, that they're both really well, that you could either read or watch one of them and you will still understand the story, or not? So yeah. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If not, that's cool. I try to upload Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays. And I catch you later.